So let us start. Beta, if the chapter is checked also, if your chapter 6 ruler administration is checked also, then also you have to send me that you have done it. Fine. Okay. So now we are going to start. Once again, good afternoon to all. We are going to start with the topic spread of Buddhism. How Buddhism spread. If you have attended yesterday lecture, then I had a talk with you about Mahayana Buddhism and Hinayana Buddhism. These two things we had a talk about. Anshika Gautam, better to sit straight. No need to raise your hands. So King Kanishka, he was a great patron. Patron is a person who gives financial help. So King Kanishka was a great patron of Buddhism. Means he was having a big hand in promoting Buddhism. A new form of Buddhism that time developed. What was the name of the new form? Mahayana Buddhism. A new form of Buddhism developed at that time, and the name was Mahayana Buddhism. What is Mahayana Buddhism? Mahayana Buddhism followers worship Buddha as a god. They consider that Buddha is a god. They emphasize on religious rites and rituals. All the religious customs they were following. I am talking about Mahayana Buddhism. They worshipped Bodhisattvas. They used to worship the Bodhisattvas. So I am talking about Mahayana Buddhism. They used to worship Buddha as a god, and they emphasize on religious rites and rituals. This Mahayana Buddhism is also known as your great vehicle. Okay. Mahayana Buddhism is also known as greater vehicle. Okay. It means, right, means custom, tradition. Okay. All the religious customs and traditions they used to follow. They used to worship Bodhisattvas. Your Mahayana Buddhism, they used to worship your Bodhisattvas. Anshika, it's better, Gautam, I'm telling you, Anshika, Gautam, it's better you to sit straight in a proper position. Okay, bache? No need to switch off your video. So I'm telling you, they used to worship your Bodhisattvas. Okay. These Bodhisattvas were very popular in your Central Asia, China, Korea, Japan. These Bodhisattvas were popular in your Central Asia, China, Korea, and your Japan. So you know who are Bodhisattvas? Bodhisattvas are the people. Okay. Bodhisattvas are the people who promote Buddhism. Okay, who are the followers of Buddhism. So the Hinayana sect. If I talk about Hinayana sect, there were two types. One was Mahayana sect and another one was Hinayana sect. Yes, Adit, you can say so that Bodhisattvas are the people who work for the redemption of the society, because this is one of the main teachings of Buddha. Okay, so Mahayana Buddhism is also known as greater vehicle, and they used to worship Buddha as a god. They believe in religious rites and rituals. They used to worship Bodhisattvas, and these Bodhisattvas were popular in Central Asia, China, Korea, and Japan. And if I talk about Buddhist scholars, your Buddhist scholars began writing in Sanskrit language. Which language? In your Sanskrit language. Next comes the second form of Buddhism was Hinayana sect. In this, simple style of prayer and worship is there. The people used to worship in simple style. Okay. But they don't worship Buddha as a god. In Mahayana, they were worshipping Buddha as a god. But in Hinayana, they don't worship your Buddha not as a God. They give less importance to religious rites. They gave importance to renunciation. Underline this word renunciation and write the meaning over there. Renunciation means that you no longer want something. You are having no desire to have something. That is renunciation. So they gave importance to renunciation. They used to speak one language that is known as Pali language. It was the language of common people at that time. This Hinayana sect was very popular in Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, and Indonesia. Here it was very popular. Bodhisattvas were popular in your Central Asia, China, Japan, and Korea. This I already told you here. Okay. They are the people who have already attained enlightenment. Bodhisattvas are the people who have already attained your enlightenment. Okay. Earlier, there were no statues of Buddha. Earlier, if I talk about earlier times, there were no statues of Buddha. Buddha used to be worshipped like they used to worship people tree, Buddha's footsteps. Renunciation. Renunciation means that you no longer want something. You are not having any desire to have something. No, earlier there were no statues of Buddha because earlier they used to worship people tree and the footsteps of the Buddha. Later on, the Buddha statues were made, and these were made in Takshashila, that is Takshila, and Mathura. These two were the places where later on the statues were made, in Takshila and Mathura. Okay? Got this? Any doubt till here? Adit, any people tree they used to worship. They used to see that in people tree there is soul of God Buddha. Okay, because everywhere that people tree cannot be there, na? So everywhere they cannot go to Bodh Gaya. Bodh Gaya is a place where Buddha attained enlightenment. Okay, they used to worship the people tree and the footsteps of Buddha. Yeah, in Bihar. Gaya in Bihar. Next. Next, they are saying another feature of Bodhisattvas. Now we are talking about. Here we were talking about another feature of Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas became popular in Central Asia, China, Japan, and Korea. Bodhisattvas were supposed to be the people who have already attained enlightenment. This I told you. Bodhisattvas are the people who already attained enlightenment. And they helped other people. They used to help other people in the worshipping. Okay. And those people whom they are helping, okay, they used to worship Bodhisattvas. Okay. What is happening here? I'm telling you, the Bodhisattvas are the people who have already attained enlightenment. They are preaching people about Buddhism religion. So they want people to worship them in return. Bodhisattvas want people to worship them in return. Okay. Monks are the people, beta, who follow the footsteps of Buddha. Okay, those are the monks who promote Buddhism, teachings of Buddha. Next, in 2nd century BC, King Kanishka, remember him? King Kanishka. Yeah. He convened means he assembled 4th Buddhist Council at Kashmir. Okay. He called a group of people and 4th Buddhist Council was held at Kashmir. Underline. In 2nd century BC, Kanishka convened 4th Buddhist Council at Kashmir. You know how many monks and scholars participated? 500 monks and scholars participated in this. It was presided means this meeting head was Vasumitra. He's a famous scholar. Underline. This meeting head was Vasumitra. Okay. He was a great scholar at that time. Other scholars also attended. One was Ashwaghosha, Nagarjuna, Taranath, and Charak. Beta, it's BC, 2nd century BC, not AD. Adit. In 2nd century BC, King Kanishka convened 4th Buddhist Council at Kashmir, where they held this council at your Kashmir. And then what happened when this Buddhist council held at Kashmir, 500 monks and scholars participated in this, and this meeting was presided over by the Vasumitra. He was a great scholar at that time. Beta, Kanishka came, BC, you know, na, backward counting. After BC, AD comes. Remember, Adit? So you remember the time period of Kanishka, Adit? It was 78 AD to 144 AD. Correct. In 2nd century, his time period was when Kanishka became the king. He became the king in AD 78. Till AD 144, his time period was there. But earlier only he was following the Buddha footsteps in 2nd century BC. So that time he convened 4th Buddhist Council at Kashmir, where 500 monks participated. One person is there. That's what I am telling, beta. That time he was not a king. Kanishka was not a king at 2nd century BC. AD full form is Anno Domini. Buddha Charitra. Buddha Charitra was a book written by Ashwaghosha. Who is Ashwaghosha? Ashwaghosha was a great poet. He was a philosopher. He was a dramatist at the court of Kanishka. He was a poet. He was a philosopher. He was a dramatist at the court of Kanishka. And he was author of Buddha Charitra. Underline. Which book he wrote? It is a book. Buddha Charitra, written by Ashwaghosha. Book. Okay, beta. Now they are saying the main objective, this conference was held, na? I told you 4th Buddhist Council. What was the main purpose of this council? Why this council happened? Why this council took place? This council was set up to settle various controversies. Philosopher means a person who is having philosophy. Buddha Charitra tells about the life of Buddha. Okay, how he led his life, when he gained enlightenment, then what happened. You can say so, Adit. So, okay, so now we are going to talk about the main objective of this council. Why this council was happened? Because people were having doubts. So many controversies have been arose, the people who were practicing Buddhism. That time, so many people were following Buddhism and so many controversies were there. The council took the decision, whatever the decisions your council took. Controversies is generally when the two thoughts didn't match, then controversy happened. When your and my thought are not matching, then I will argue with you. Then a controversy will take place. Okay. To make your doubt clear, like you asked me a doubt, I have to make your doubt clear. Otherwise, controversy will take place. Controversy is in a bigger terms, not in a smaller terms. Okay. So that time what happened? Controversies took place. Okay. Controversies, to avoid the controversies, this council has taken the decision. Whatever decision this council was taking, it was written on the copper plates. At that time, copper plates were coming. Whatever decisions were taken by this council, okay, it was written on the copper plates. Beta, AD full form is Anno Domini. Forward counting we call it. Got? Yes, Sargun. AD means Anno Domini. Controversy, simple meaning you can write that disagreement regarding something. Okay. When in public discussion, you are disagreeing with someone, it leads to your controversy. So whatever decision this council was taken, it was written on your copper plates and it was preserved in the stupa. Whatever decisions were taken by the council, it was written on a copper plate and it was preserved in the stupa. You must have heard about Sanchi stupa. Dome-shaped structure where all the things are being preserved of Buddhism. Yes, BC means before Christ. So large number of monasteries, vihars and stupas were built. Okay, at that time large number of monasteries, vihars and stupas were built. Huge donation was given for maintenance of these. For maintenance of monasteries, vihars and stupas, whose huge donation was given. Okay, Buddhism was made state religion. Now Buddhism was made state religion, that everybody will follow one religion only, that is Buddhism. Buddha statue, I told you now earlier, statues of Buddha were not there. It came in Takshila and Mathura. Later on, they made Buddha statue on various places. Now, if I talk about the time period of Guptas, the time period of Guptas. At the time period of Guptas, they said that we all should follow Hinduism. Okay. Guptas, under Guptas, Hinduism became more dominant. Which religion became dominant? Hinduism. This was partly due to patronage of the Gupta king. Gupta king was giving importance to Hinduism because already the Buddhism was spread in Mongolia, Tibet, China, Java, and Japan. So Gupta king gave importance to Hinduism. Okay, this religion was dominant at the Gupta time period. Next is very important topic. Beginning of Bhakti. At that time, new deities gained importance. Deities means the god we worship. These were Vishnu and Shiva as a god and Durga as the goddess. Okay, these gods were worshipped through bhakti. These gods were worshipped through bhakti. What is bhakti? Bhakti means beta intense devotion. When you are devoted or surrendered to God, when you are fully devoted and surrender yourself to God, you will get all the answers. It means that nobody is above or below someone. Nobody is of high value, nobody is of low value, nobody is poor or rich, men or women. Anybody can show devotion to the God. Okay, they can worship to his or her deity. Deity means the God which you are worshipping. You can worship any God. Okay, either you are a man, you are a woman, you are rich, you are poor, you are of high caste, you are of low caste, you can worship your own deity. After this, the doctrine of bhakti came. Doctrine of bhakti means what is bhakti? It was being written in your Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna has wrote what is bhakti. I told you, na, bhakti means when you are totally surrendered yourself to God, when you are fully devoted yourself to God. There is a word pantheon. All the gods who were worshipped by the people at that time, that is pantheon. Pantheon means all the gods who were worshipped at that time by the people. Okay. Founders of the bhakti were Sankara, Ramanuja, and Madhava. Underline. Founders of the bhakti were at that time Sankara, Ramanuja, and Madhava. Underline, bhakti is derived from a Sanskrit word bhaj. Bhakti is derived from a Sanskrit word bhaj, means to revere. Means to revere. It means it is a two-way relationship between the deity, deity means the God, and the devotee. Devotee means we, the people who worship the God. It is a two-way relationship between the deity, deity means the God we are worshipping, and the devotee. Devotee are we people who are worshipping the God. There is no rituals and no sacrifices. Earlier, Ashwamedha Yajna used to be performed, horse sacrifice. No rituals, no sacrifices are being there. Okay? Whichever God you want to follow, you can follow easily. Beta, let me complete, then I will take all your doubts. Okay? Here they are saying it is a two-way relationship between your deity and your devotee. If you are of pure heart, you can connect to your deity. Your heart should be pure while worshipping to God. Then only you can connect yourself to your own deity. Bhakti emphasized on devotion. Devotion means you should be fully devoted to your God. Individual worship, whichever God or goddess you are worshipping, okay, no rituals and sacrifices should be made. With your pure heart, you should worship the God. According to Bhakti, a person who is having a pure heart can connect to their deity. A person who is having a pure heart can connect to their deity. The deity could be in any form. Okay, you can worship a human being also. You can worship a tree also. You can worship lion also. As soon as the idea of bhakti gained importance, artists made beautiful images of deities. Artists made beautiful images of deity. Now you may ask, pantheon. Pantheon meaning, beta, all the gods we've used to worship at that time. All the gods people used to worship. That is pantheon. Case study, I am going to now discuss. Any other meaning you want to ask? You may ask. Devotee means the person who is worshipping the God. Oh, rever means this word. Okay, I'm telling you. This word, beta, rever means right meaning. To feel great respect. For someone. To feel great respect for someone. It is rever meaning. Deity means the God which we are worshipping. Deity is the God which we are worshipping. It can be a god, it can be a goddess. Devotee, beta, just now I told you, devotee is the person who is devoted himself or herself to God, to Lord. Doctrine means the principle. Doctrine of Bhakti. Principle of Bhakti. What is being written in Bhakti? Enunciation means to, whenever you are saying a word, it should be very clear. That is enunciated. Whatever meaning you are explaining, it should be clear. Doctrine means the principle which is being followed. Okay, now I am starting with your next page. Acceptance means when you are accepting something. Acceptance. Nalanda topic started from here. Case study. Yes. If I talk about your Nalanda, towards east, south of Patna, there was a village called Badagaon. Okay. The vicinity of which ruins the world famous Nalanda University. Here you can find the ruins of your Nalanda University. Beta, I am explaining only. Nalanda is very famous. It was the ancient seat of learning. Okay, it was founded in 5th century AD, underline. 10,000 students and 2,000 teachers from all over the world lived and studied in this university. 10,000 students and 2,000 teachers from all over the world were used to live here and used to study in this Nalanda University. The university flourished in 5th and 12th century. Okay, it was one of the places where Buddhism developed. Nalanda University was one of the place where your Buddhism developed. This Nalanda saw the fall and rise of various empires, emperors who contributed for the development of the Nalanda University. Many kings came, many emperors came, many kingdoms fall and rise during the time period of Nalanda University. And those all contributed fully for the development of Nalanda universities. Many monasteries, temples were built by the kings. Underline, King Harshvardhan, important person. He gave 28-meter high copper statue of Buddha. Who? King Harshvardhan. He gave 28-meter high copper statue of Buddha. Kumar Gupta established a college of fine arts there. Chinese traveler, underline, Huan Tsang. He stayed in Nalanda, give a detailed description about the situations which was prevailing at that time. When the Nalanda place was excavated, excavated means when deep digging was there in the earth's surface, okay, have revealed many stupas, monasteries, hostel, meditation halls, lecture halls, which were speak of splendor and grandeur of this place enjoyed. They are saying at that time, because Buddhism also developed, Chinese traveler Huan Tsang, he stayed over there and wrote about the situation prevailing at that time. When the excavation was done, digging was done, then many stupas, your vihars, your monasteries came up, where your monks live, Ishant. It is a place of learning where your monks live, nuns, monks. Famous Chinese excavation of the place revealed many stupas, monasteries, hostel, meditation halls, lecture halls. They speak of splendor and grandeur of this place. You know, a large number of stupas, chaitya means the temples, the monastery sites, revealed at that time it was one of the most important Buddhist center of worship and culture. They revealed that it was one of the most important centers of the Buddhist center of culture. Anshika Gautam, your video is off. During days of Mahavira and Buddha, Nalanda was a very prosperous temple city. It was very prosperous temple city. There used to people go, there used to people worship. This university was being a site of celebration. Okay, the site of celebrated university. There used to people come from various places during the days of Mahavira and Buddha. King Ashoka, underline, he gave offering to the Chaitya of Sariputra at Nalanda. Chaitya is a temple. Okay, he gave his offering to the Chaitya of Sariputra at Nalanda and erected a temple there. He made a temple over there. Before temple, it is Chaitya. Okay, after he made their temple. Nagarjuna, he was famous Mahayana philosopher of the 2nd century. He was situated at Nalanda. And this person, Nagarjuna, he became a highest priest over there. Okay, he became a highest priest over there. Gupta kings also patronized these monasteries. Ashoka Harshvardhan built temples and monasteries here. Libraries were made. They were well renowned. Okay. Someone say the fire broke out in which many texts were destroyed and lost. Some are saying that fire broke down. That's why many texts are being lost of that time.